Hello everyone, it's Allie from Titan and welcome back to our channel. I am here with a brand new booster box to check out today. Do have an unlimited edition Crucible of War from Flesh and Blood. And I must admit, we did just get in one sealed case, and when it arrived, I opened it up, pulled this out, and I thought these boxes were fake. Now, if you guys are taking a look at the box and saying, Allie, something looks really off here, haven't seen any Flesh and Blood boxes like that before. Now, these boxes are much skinnier than other Flesh and Blood products we've checked out here in the channel. We've checked out Unlimited Arcane Rising, Unlimited Welcome to Wraith, Monarch First Ed, and Unlimited, but never a Crucible of War before. So I haven't set my eyes on a first edition to know if the First Ed print run was like this as well. I was trying to figure out what the difference was here. I was like, okay, it says 24 packs per box. Did they go from maybe 36 to just 24? What actually changed here is instead of having 15 cards per pack, like Welcome to Wraith, Arcane Rising, and Monarch, there's only 10 cards per pack. So, 2/3 of what used to be in the pack. So I'm curious to see how that goes over. And as I mentioned, I really don't know here. I tried looking it up myself. I saw TCG Player listed First Ed Crucible boxes of having 15 cards per pack. But when I was looking on eBay, people in the descriptions were saying 10 cards per pack. So if you have checked out a Crucible of War First Ed box, definitely go ahead and let me know in the comments. Was the initial print run like this as well, with just 10 cards per pack instead of 15? So, like I said, when I first saw this, I was like, is this fake? Is this a different product? I don't know what's going on here. So that's what it is. If you guys are eyeballing this being like, that looks weird, there are just 10 cards per pack instead of 15. So the boxes are much skinnier. I'm curious to check out how the packs themselves feel. I know I've commented before opening up Flesh and Blood, it feels like the packs are a bit loose. And that's one thing I'd like the game to improve upon. So that way the packs don't open, I don't want to say as easily, because of course you don't want to have to struggle to open your packs. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like maybe easily tamperable would be my concern that I have with that. So I'm curious to check this out, but very excited to be checking out new Flesh and Blood. So let's go ahead and open it on up by snapping us into the corner, and hopefully we'll find something pretty sweet. I had pretty good luck recently here with Monarch. By recently, I mean on release. Did find a cold foil legend in that initial box. Then actually had some personal breaks about a month or two ago of a lot of Unlimited. Did find some really nice cards there as well. So let me go on ahead and pop this open. We have still never found a single Fabled. Never ever. Of course, those are super rare, but would love to find one. But yes, as you guys can see here, 10-card booster pack. Alright, so they do still feel to have some give. Okay, so but they do seem to me, they feel different than other packs. A little bit more sturdy. Like I said, I don't want to say being easy to open is a bad thing, but was with initial concern in my first ever Flesh and Blood opening. I was like, I don't know about how well these packs will stay together, but it does seem like perhaps things are changing. Very curious to know your guys' reactions as well, all of you Flesh and Blood players out there. Was it expected for Unlimited prints to have just 10 cards per pack? It does look like we have a foil rare here, Dauntless, Crane Dance, and Mandible Claw. Alright, so didn't have our token. I'm curious if that's as an adjustment for the set. Let's actually take a look here. I'm curious, Flesh and Blood players, what are your thoughts on this adjustment to the boosters? Each booster contains 10 randomly inserted cards, approximate cards per booster, 7 commons, 1 rare or higher, and 1 premium foil. Okay. Okay, so no tokens here. But I'm curious, is this going to be going forward with the Aria set? That should be the next one to release, I believe, in September. Is it just going to be print runs for Unlimited or different than the First Ed? I really don't know. Of course, Flesh and Blood First Edition boxes are already crazy on the secondary market as is. So if they make Unlimited runs have just 10 cards instead of 15, I think that might not be the greatest idea. I think that would actually be pretty bad. But just curious if perhaps finding there's too much filler in the first several releases. The Crucible of War did come out prior to Monarch, so that is why I'm a bit confused here. And like I said, I looked it up. TCG Player listing for first edition boxes said that there were 15 cards per pack, but people on eBay said that there were 10. And I was trying to look at images, and the First Ed boxes look skinny, but I'm not sure if that's just because it's the only thing in the photo or not. We have Emerging Dominance Common Foil, Rushing River, and Cindering Foresight. Do like that we're still finding at least 2 rares per pack. We did have a Majestic there earlier in pack number 2. Spoils of War. Funnily enough, I did actually have to start my intro over a couple times before I found the rhythm here. I kept calling it Crucible of Worlds, like the Magic the Gathering card. And then I was like, wait, no, Crucible of War. But my brain just wants to say Crucible of Worlds. So if I do slip up and say that in this video, I'm apologizing ahead of time. Okay, Bravo Showstopper is a common. And Era is a common as well. Those look like they'd be tokens, but they are not. We have Pathing Helix foil, Cindering Foresight, and Data Doll MK2, or MK11. Not sure what that would be. But one Majestic, one Rare foil, pretty early on in the box. Now, we had ordered a lot of the unlimited runs, but as I mentioned earlier, we are only able to get in one full case. I believe we put in an order for 48, which should be 12 cases, and we only got 4 boxes. So thankfully, we at least did get a case. But Bossman was talking with our rep, asking, you know, why were allocations so weird on this product? And he was saying that actually a lot of places got cut very, very low, and it seems that going forward, if you're not an official Flesh and Blood store, you're not going to be able to get first ed boxes. Now, we are actually a Flesh and Blood tournament store. Haven't organized anything yet, but we're there. We actually do have, Bossman is training a new shop manager / tournament person that's actually going to be running all the events. So, that's Bossman's main concern with having so many events, is that he doesn't want to overwork himself. So, of course, all of our Magic events start hosting Weiss Schwartz soon. Start trying to get a play group of Cardfight Vanguard together. There are Weiss Schwartz players that are interested in having a Weiss night, so that'll probably be on Wednesdays. But once all his training completes, then be able to start scheduling more and more. So I do imagine we'll probably have a pre-release event for Aria when that comes out. So we should be able to get in first ed boxes. Most likely not a lot. We didn't get very much Monarch in. But that is just something to keep in mind, I guess, for those of you looking. You know, if your local store isn't one of those gem stores, I believe is what they're called, might want to encourage them, saying, hey, would love to see you guys get more Flesh and Blood products. Make sure you go sign up for whatever requirement. I honestly don't know what the requirements were. I think we just applied and we were accepted. There weren't any hoops to jump through. Seemed very easy, so I would recommend it if you have a local shop that you do like to get your Flesh and Blood from, to encourage them to become a gem store if they're not already. Did have Massacre, Majestic, but so far I only had that one rare foil. The rest have been common foils. Rushing River, that is a sick image. Ooh. There's so many really cool looking ninja cards. Do appreciate it. I remember finding a legend foil out of, was it Welcome to Wraith perhaps? I don't remember what the card was, but I believe it was a lady with a kind of traditional looking fox mask. Something along those lines. It sold a long time ago, so I can't go grab it to look at it. Sutcliffe's Research Notes foils. And Mangle Majestic. But I remember thinking that art was gorgeous, and I remember after the video I was looking on TCG Player to list it. Because we do have some people come in for Flesh and Blood singles. Most people just like to buy packs. But I was looking to list it, and it was in its unlimited edition, it was about $250. And then in its first edition, it was $2.5 grand. I was like, wow, that's a crazy jump. No wonder those boxes are so expensive. I think it must have been Welcome to Wraith then. But man, that was, it's like, I know you guys mention all the time, like, first ed foils can get crazy, but I was like, ooh, I didn't expect that. Brutal Assault, Common Foil, High Speed Impact, and Mavrian Skies. Long story short, I keep seeing all these cool ninja cards, so I think if I were to pick up Flesh and Blood, really don't know when I'd have the time, but me personally, I think I'd be attracted to the ninja archetype. I think that's what I'd go with. Copper foil. Now these do look like what they'd be the traditional tokens, even with the border. So I'm curious if they're just getting rid of tokens and making them commons. Reinforce the Line and Towering Titan. Curious to see what direction Legend Story takes Flesh and Blood. Because of course, hit the ground running. Definitely picking up speed. Need to be able to maintain the game though. Don't want to end up like Force of Will. Or even for a bit, Final Fantasy TCG started off very hot, very, very hot, and then actually due to supply issues, Opus 1 boxes went through the roof, and then people just kind of started tapering off, because then there's the big reprint and everything kind of dropped. Now it's Opus 1's back up again, and Final Fantasy's still continuing, but very curious to see what happens. Feigned Death, Majestic Foil. Love how the art is, I don't want to say edgy, but definitely more mature than for Magic. Of course, this game advertises as 16+ instead of 13+. But there is a lot of great artwork in Flesh and Blood. To be fair, though, the name of the game is also Flesh and Blood. It makes sense. It does sound, as I was saying, more mature than just, oh, Magic the Gathering, hanging out, having fun. Not to rip on Magic's name, of course. Very classic name. Ooh, I love this color. It's a ninja card. Oh, man, look at it. That's a great color. I love that color. Totally off topic, but I love that color. Emerging Dominance Foil. Dauntless, and Rock Slide Trap. But Flesh and Blood does sound more like it would have artwork where a werewolf creature is biting somebody's neck off. Does seem appropriate for the name. A little over, I think, halfway through the box. I swear she was a toad. Okay, so I think that's what it is. The heroes are now commons. Cindering Foresight, rare foil. Majestic Snag, and Phasma Barrel Shot, rare. Just seems a bit odd to change from 15 cards per pack. Ooh, foil Zen States. Dauntless and a Barraging Bighorn. To change from 10 cards per pack and 24 packs per box. From that 15 cards per pack, you know, same amount of packs per box. But the price doesn't change. Even if it is just culling a bunch of commons. It gives off a weird feeling. Increase the Tension, common foil, Tripwire Trap, and Rushing River. The art for Rushing River is gorgeous. Hit and Run, common foil, High Speed Impact, and Rushing River once again. As with other Flesh and Blood releases, the cards do have that very slippery feel to them. Even the cards don't like rubbing against one another, as you guys can see by the... Part of that is me just dropping them, I guess, with force, and then they slide, but... I mean, gravity exists. I can't really stop that. But definitely notice them sliding around. That is an interesting image. That's what I call a trap. I like the flavor text here. The tongue is the only weapon that grows sharper with use. Be like, hey bro, you look a little lost. Hey, I'm just chilling out here in the ocean. I swear I'm not up to anything. You want to just make out for a little bit? Thanks. I'm gonna eat you. I'm gonna just have this weird skeleton creature come out of my spine. And it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. For me, not for you, but hey. We have Crucible of Aetherweave. Recognize this, I think, from some sort of promo. Kasai, Centauri Sellsword, rare. And Mauvrian Skies. I appreciate... That's a card I just call edgy, but I appreciate the elevated, enhanced, dark-themed arts that exist here in Flesh and Blood. I appreciate it a lot. Especially because I don't have context for a lot of these cards, but these are great to look at. I want to tell my own story with these cards. Combustible Courier, common foil. Fjendal's Spring Tunic, legend. Cute. Not a foil. Odd. Okay. It's a sick dress, or tunic, excuse me. I'd wear that. It's not foil. That's something I am certainly not used to. To my knowledge, previously, we've only ever seen legendary foils. So they've only come in foil. Now they come in non-foil? Man, I feel like... I thought I did my research. I was like, okay, let me check and see, and I'll just pass it along off to the people in the comments, get some interaction going on the video, because I did see on TCG Player it said 10 cards per pack on the first Ed listings. And I know I was looking at the right one, because boxes were like 800 bucks. And then I was looking at pictures on eBay and it looked different. Figured I'd pass that off to you guys, but now I'm seeing no tokens. I'm seeing non-foil legends. I'm like, what's going on? Meet and greet. Cheeky, I like it. Barraging Bighorn and Promise of Plenty. I'm curious now if maybe it's still a foil legend per case, and you can get legends and non-foil. That'd be pretty cool. I feel like that would be a great addition, taken away, you know, to keep the price the same, more legends and non-foil. Because not everyone likes playing with foils either. And then having less cards, but bigger chance on a big hit in your box. That'd be pretty cool. But I definitely want to hear your guys' opinion on these changes, or maybe it was like this originally in the first Crucible War, and I'm just behind the times. Mandible Claw. Very bloody and fresh. Oh, we're already at the second last pack of the box. Man, I'm having too much fun. It's why I've been talking for 16 minutes. All right, that's just me then. I've just been completely lost here in this video. Rousing Aether, Common Foil. Chain Lightning, Majestic. And Pitfall Trap. All right, final pack here. Do have Crush the Weak, Common Foil. Love the foiling on spurts. He's crushing the weak, what can I say? Mauvrian Skies and Dauntless once again. Alright, so that does it here for this first ever Crucible of War opening on the channel. Definitely had a great time checking out this unlimited box. Let me straighten up these piles, and of course we'll get into our recap. Of course, now with the abolishment of super rares, you are getting more majestic, so I expected that. We saw that with Monarch. But we did find 2 foil rares, 1 foil majestic, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 majestics, and a non-foil legend. Alright, so let's actually start off with the Fiendal's Spring Tunic. I'd wear this outfit, 10 out of 10. I'd wear it more often than would probably be reasonable, but I love the way this looks. But that's cool. Generic Equipment Chest. Legend. Art here by Sergei Gursky. I like it. Very nice. Very nice looking card. No idea on the value, but hey, legends are nice. Confused that it's non-foil. Help me in the comments down below, please, and thank you. Then for our 5 non-foil majestics, we did have Chain Lightning, Snag, Mangle, Massacre, and Spoils of War. Definitely running with the theme of the box. Crucible of War, the title itself. And then we also had a Feigned Death foil. And then 2 foil rares, Dauntless and Cindering Foresight. And for our regular rares, we'll just pan through all of these. But definitely had a great experience opening up this box. Leaves me with a lot of questions. Makes me want to learn a lot more. Thought I came in with 1 question to ask you guys and ended up with a lot. So I'm very excited to read your guys' comments and do even more research on my own part. You know, some of you probably rolling your eyes being like, why didn't you look it up yourself? It's because I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you guys. Go on. Just try to be friendly. But that does it here for this box. Like I said, I keep saying I thoroughly enjoyed it, but every time a new flesh and new, of course, this is not new to me. Crucible of War has been out, you know, for some time with those first ed boxes. But new to me, haven't seen any of these cards before, so it was great checking out the new art. That is one of my favorite things here with Flesh and Blood openings, is checking out what new crazy looking cards come in the set. Really appreciate the more mature theme. The cards are gorgeous. Cards are gorgeous. I was happy with the way the packs felt upon opening. I think that also has to do with there being less cards. They need less wiggle room inside. You know, 15 cards, thicker than just 10. As we saw, the box was much skinnier than usual. So I do think they're making good improvements. I felt like the foils did stand out more. Monarch, it seemed like a lot of the lighter colored artworks, the foiling wasn't super bright. Now with the dark theme of being war, it does seem like, even this one though, where it's, I would say more of a brighter background, you know, especially right there in the middle, actually reminds me, I don't know why, but my brain said pod race from episode 1 in Star Wars in the background. It even good on the electric effects. I think the foils are really brightening up as well. Like this one, very light, but you can tell that's a foil Zen State right away. Copper, it looks great there. So I do think there has been some adjustments to the foiling. Like even this one where the green kind of fades, you do see the highlights in the blue, in the tree. So I do think the foils are improving, which is nice to see. They seem kind of muddled before. It wasn't a cold foil. It was a little bit hard to tell. The rainbow foiling wasn't the greatest. Like to see that. Like the feel of the packs. So I think seeing positive improvements on there, but I want to know your guys' thoughts on the switch from 15 cards per pack to 10. So go ahead and let me know in the comment section down below. But I've talked enough here, gave you guys my thoughts on the product, and of course have finished opening everything on up and our recap. So that is it here for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Maybe not as much as I did because I had an absolute blast, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video anyways. And if you did, don't forget to go ahead and hit that like button. I already told you all to answer my questions, give me feedback, anything in the comments down below. And of course, if you're not yet part of the Titan Cards family, I'd love to have you with us. Make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Now, actually, this is the only thing that came in today. Originally, Select Basketball was supposed to come out. That should be here on Friday. As long as it's shipped, I'll have to check that out afterwards. And on Friday as well, we'll be checking out new Final Fantasy Opus 14. I believe it's titled Crystal Abyss. The pre-release kits will be arriving, so excited to check those out. Also, we got cut on those. Seems like Final Fantasy, I don't know if it's production issues or perhaps Southern Hobby just isn't getting a lot, but it seems a lot of people got cut on the Opus 14 pre-release kits as well. So cuts on Flesh and Blood, cuts on Final Fantasy, but still be checking some of that out here on Friday. Just only have one case to go through instead of 3 on the kits. Which, opening up pre-release kits for Final Fantasy is a blast, because you do get a pack of sleeves, too. And the sleeves are nice. Sleeves are very nice. Have some myself. I love them. But anyways, off topic. That's for Friday. Friday, just a couple openings as well. The queue for personal breaks is wide open. Queue for this weekend is wide open as well. As I mentioned, we only got in a case. I took half for back here, so we had one box for personal break that did actually sell already for It's Michelle Bro. That'll be this weekend. And then the other half of the boxes are in the shop. So, no more Flesh and Blood currently. If we can get more Crucible in, definitely we'll let you guys know in the community tab. But unfortunately, we don't have any more of these boxes available except for in-store purchases. Anyways. Before I finally wrap this video on up, I do have to give a big shout out, of course, to all of our channel members. Thank you so much, you all, for going above and beyond with your support of the channel. Bossman and I truly do appreciate it. Do have 10 Black Label fans, and in Bounty Hunter Breaks, Chris Rivers, Epicenter Gaming, Fails Tales, Kira Soltari, MT, Sean F, Stephen Olivo, and Stephen Bly. We also do now have 13 Gem Mint fans. Alberto M, Chicago Infinity, Dragonfire, or Devon, then Dragonfire, excuse me. My eyes, I looked at the list and I was like, let me just skip Devon for no reason. My apologies, Devon. Dusty Archuleta, Geriatric Geek, Jake Rhino C, Joe Hal, Mark Mardini, Michael C, Michael Bigelow, Scorecard Collectibles, and Sinvicta. But thank you so much to all of our channel members, and all members do have their names shown on the screen at the end of every video. But yeah, as I mentioned, this is our only video of the day, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I put all my energy into it, I had a great time, and I got to see some really cool cards. Very curious to learn more about the non-foil legends, curious to learn more about the lack of tokens, adjustments to the heroes now being commons instead of just 1 per pack tokens. Curious how that'll play out for pre-releases, because I know that's why they were actually in the pack. I watched intro videos on Flesh and Blood before our first ever opening, was so that you have access to the cards that you'll commonly need for sealed, draft, anything else. So curious to see why that changed. So if you guys know, let me know down below. But that's it for me here. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!